Today for New Music Monday, we're going to check out the brand new album from Sleater Kinney, and it's called No Cities to Love. This was without question one of the most highly anticipated records of the year and definitely the most highly anticipated of January. And if you didn't know, this is their first album in just about a decade, and that sort of break can really throw a band off and massively change their sound. Now, if the band was looking for a way to announce that they've come back, the first track absolutely does that. It's hard, it's fast, it's got a great energy to it, and it's hard not to get into. It's not noise, the melody is clear as always, and it reaffirms what this trio has always been best at, making a ton of noise, giving it a great punch, but always concentrating on having a good melody. The next two songs kind of sound the same, and they really melt together, and maybe not in the best way. I actually didn't notice that the song had changed, and I had to go back and check because I thought they were into some weird 6-minute jam. It doesn't really come across as two different songs. I really didn't like how those two songs went together. Then we get to the title track, which compared to the two songs that precede it, there's really no way around it. It's kind of a letdown. It's a bit boring. It just really never locks in and does whatever the band were trying to do with this song. You can have all the celebrities in the world be in your video, it doesn't make it a great song. And honestly, that's just a precursor to what the bulk of the center of this album is. Boring and bland and really doesn't go anywhere. So many times they go for edgy or they go for a stripped down sound and it just sort of sits there and doesn't get to that point. I mean, it's not like these songs suck, but after the opening 3 songs, I really expected there to be a lot more meat on this album. This is all epitomized by the song Gimme Love, which is maybe the most uninspired 2-minute track I've ever heard. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't endure it more than once or twice. It was so hard for me to listen to, I had to start skipping it. The song just sounds really artificial and forced to the point that it almost hurts, and you really wonder why a band like this would put out a song like that. Oh, and don't think that I missed the blatant ripoff of Lita Ford's Kiss Me Deadly that occurs about halfway through this album. You know, the song Hey Darling? Go back and listen to it. That rip is so obvious, and for the sake of the band, I hope this was just a clever nod and they knew what they were doing, because if not, this is pure musical thievery. I will say though, the last quarter of this album matches well with the first few songs. They really lock in well together and there's that great energy again. But the middle of the album really destroyed any momentum that they had going. The vocals all across the record are pretty much what you'd expect, and it's good to see that the years haven't ravaged that Valley Girl tinged scream that they do. There are some nice vocals here and there, but there was really nothing that made me stand up and pay attention. And overall, it just kind of turned into background noise in terms of the music and the vocals. And I know that some of you out there are going to go on and on about how amazing these lyrics were, but to tell you the truth, I just wasn't that impressed. Yeah, there's a good line here or there, but there was nothing that stopped me in my tracks or that I haven't heard done better elsewhere somewhere in music history. I really wanted to love this album. I really did. I wanted this to be the record where I finally got it. I understood why so many people worship this band. But it just didn't happen. For me, this record was lukewarm at best. And I can find countless examples of the same sonic approach being done so much better by current bands and older bands than what you hear on this album. And on the buy it or borrow it, this is a borrow it for fans and a bin it for non-fans. This really isn't a great album in any way, and you can find much better entry points into Sleater Kinney. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe or jump down in the comments and let me know what you thought of this album. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again next time.